My fiancé Saeed, you don't need a financial advisor. I can handle your investments myself. I replied, that's sweet of you. Then I checked the account statements. Thousands were missing. Turns out my investor, fiancé, had been funding her ex's startup. When I walked into their launch party with the bank statements in my hand, I'm Jack, 30M, and I thought I had everything figured out. Good job in tech sales, decent apartment in Austin, and a fiancé I genuinely believed was brilliant with money. Her name's Melissa, 28F, and she worked as a financial analyst at a mid-sized consulting firm. We'd been together 3 years, engaged for 8 months. The wedding was set for June. Here's where I screwed up. I trusted her completely. Last October, Melissa suggested she could manage my investment portfolio. I had about $87,000 saved up, combination of inheritance from my grandfather, bonuses, and aggressive saving throughout my 20s. I'd been using a standard financial advisor, paying the usual fees, getting modest returns. Nothing exciting, but steady. Babe, I literally do this for a living, Melissa said one night while we were cooking dinner. You're paying someone 1.5% annually to do what I could do for free. Let me handle it. I promise I'll grow it faster than whatever generic portfolio they have you in. I was chopping onions. I remember because I was tearing up, and she kissed my cheek and said, trust me. So I did. I signed over power of attorney for that specific account in November. She moved everything into what she called a more aggressive growth strategy. She'd send me monthly updates, screenshots of graphs trending upward, percentage gains, the whole thing. It looked professional. It looked real. 4 months went by. I was busy with work, planning the wedding, living life. I didn't check the actual statements because why would I? She was sending me updates, and the numbers looked good. We were up 12% according to her reports. Then 2 weeks ago, I got a notification from the bank about a low balance alert on an account I'd forgotten I'd linked to my phone. It was the investment account. Current balance, $23,447. I literally stopped walking. I was in the parking lot of a grocery store, holding a bag of groceries, staring at my phone screen like it was in a foreign language. That couldn't be right. Even with market fluctuations, that made no sense. I drove home immediately. Melissa wasn't there. She was supposedly at a work dinner. I logged into the account from my laptop. It took 3 tries because my hands were shaking. Withdrawals. Dozens of them. Starting in December, 2 weeks after I gave her access. $5,000 here, $8,000 there, $12,000, $15,000. Some labeled investment transfer, others just marked wire transfer with no explanation. Over $63,000 gone in 4 months. I called her immediately. It went to voicemail. I called again. Voicemail. I texted, "Where the fuck is my money?" She called back 20 minutes later. "Jack, what's wrong? What's wrong?" "Melissa, there's $23,000 in my account. Where did the rest go?" Silence. Long enough that I checked if the call had dropped. "Melissa." "Okay, don't freak out. I can explain." "I'm already freaking out. Explain." "I moved it into a really good opportunity. A startup investment. The returns are going to be incredible, Jack. I'm talking 40 to 50% within the first year. You invested my money into a startup without asking me. I have power of attorney, babe. Legally? Are you fucking serious right now? Jack, listen to me. This company is going to explode. I did my research. The founder is incredibly smart. He's got backing from... Who's the founder? Pause. That's not important. And that's when I knew. Is it Derek? Derek was her ex-boyfriend. They dated for 2 years before me, broke up about 6 months before we met. She always said it ended amicably, that they were still friends, but barely talked. I'd met him twice at group gatherings. Tall guy, finance bro energy, talked about cryptocurrency and disrupting industries. Jack, it's not like that. Answer the question. Is it Derek's startup? Yes, but... I hung up. I spent the next hour reading through every transaction. The withdrawals all went to the same LLC, Vertex Solutions LLC. I Googled it. Their website was sleek, full of buzzwords about revolutionizing supply chain management through AI-driven logistics. The founder listed was Derek Chamberlain. There were photos from some networking event. Derek in a blazer, shaking hands with people. And in one photo, in the background, Melissa. She was laughing, holding a champagne glass. The event was dated January 18th. She'd told me she was at her sister's place that night. Update 1. I didn't sleep. At 6 a.m., I texted Melissa. Come home. Now. She walked in around 7:30 with coffee and this nervous smile like she thought she could smooth talk her way out. Before you say anything, she started, I need you to understand that I was trying to help us. This investment, you stole from me. I didn't steal anything. I made an investment on your behalf. Without my knowledge or permission, that's theft. I have power of attorney. For managing investments, not for funneling my money to your ex-boyfriend's sketchy startup. She actually rolled her eyes. Derek is not my ex anymore, Jack. We're business associates, and his startup is not sketchy. It's already got $2 million in seed funding. Funded by people like me who didn't know their money was going there? That's not fair. I grabbed my laptop and showed her the account statements. You sent him $63,000 of my money over 4 months. You lied to me every single time I asked how my investments were doing. You sent me fake reports. They weren't fake. The projections. Projections aren't real money, Melissa. She sat down on the couch and I watched her face shift. The defensiveness faded into something calculated. Okay, she said quietly. You're right. I should have told you. But Jack, if you'd known it was Derek's company, you would have said no. Of course I would have said no. Exactly. And you would have missed out on an incredible opportunity because of jealousy. I stared at her. You think this is about jealousy? Isn't it? It's about you lying to me. It's about you stealing from me. It's about you risking my financial security for your ex-boyfriend. He's not. God, Jack, you're so insecure about Derek. You always have been. That's when I asked the question I didn't want to ask. Are you sleeping with him? What? No, Jesus Christ, Jack. Then why are you so invested in his success? Why would you risk our relationship for his company? She didn't answer right away. She looked at her hands. Because I believe in him, she finally said. I believe in what he's building. Not, I believe in us. Not, I believe in our future. I believe in him. I told her to leave. She tried to argue, but I just kept saying, get out, until she finally grabbed her purse and left. Update 2. I called a lawyer that same day. Explained everything. He told me I had options. Could pursue civil charges. Could potentially claim fraud since she misrepresented how she was using the power of attorney. But it would be messy, expensive, and there was no guarantee I'd get the money back, especially if it was already locked into the startup. Is the company legitimate? He asked. I think so. Then legally she made an investment. A really stupid, unauthorized investment, but an investment. You could argue breach of fiduciary duty, but... He sighed. How much do you want to spend on lawyers to maybe get some of it back? I called Derek next. Got his number from the company website. Hello? Derek, it's Jack, Melissa's fiancé. Oh, hey man, what's up? Did you know where the money Melissa invested in your company came from? Silence. Derek. Look, man, I don't get involved in investor details. Melissa said she had clients who were interested. I'm not a client. I'm her fiancé, and she took $63,000 from my personal savings without telling me. Wait, what? Are you serious? Dead serious. I didn't know that. She said it was her money. It wasn't. More silence. I'm really sorry, man. I had no idea. That's really messed up. Is there any way to get the money back? It's It's locked in for at least 2 years. That's the contract all investors signed. Of course it was. You're having a launch party this Friday, right? I saw it on LinkedIn. Yeah. Just a small thing for investors and partners. Great. I'll be there. I hung up before he could respond. Update 3. The launch party was at some trendy rooftop bar downtown. I put on a suit, printed out every bank statement showing the withdrawals, and drove over. The place was packed with tech bros and finance people, everyone holding craft cocktails and talking about disruption and scalability. I spotted Derek immediately. He was at the center of a group, mid-pitch. Melissa was standing next to him, laughing at something someone said. She looked happy. I walked straight up to them. Jack? Melissa's face went white. Hey, honey, I said loudly enough that people nearby turned. I brought some documents for you to review. I handed her the stack of bank statements. Derek looked confused. Jack, man, maybe this isn't the place. Oh, this is exactly the place. I turned to the small crowd that had formed. Quick question for everyone. If your fiancée took $63,000 from your savings and invested it in her ex-boyfriend's startup without telling you, would you consider that fraud or just really aggressive portfolio management? Melissa grabbed my arm. Jack, stop. Because I'm genuinely curious what the professional consensus is here. You're making a scene. Good. One of the investors, an older woman in an expensive blazer, picked up one of the statements. Her eyes widened as she read it. These are unauthorized withdrawals, she said to Derek. I didn't know, Derek said quickly. I swear I thought it was her money. It's his money, I said, every cent, and she forged my consent. The woman looked at Melissa. Is this true? Melissa's face was red. It's more complicated than... It's a yes or no question. I had power of attorney. That's not what I asked. The party had gone completely quiet now. Someone was definitely recording this on their phone. I think you need to leave, Derek said to me, but he sounded uncertain. I'll leave, I said. But first, I want everyone here to know that Vertex Solutions is funded, at least partially, by stolen money. Just something to consider for your due diligence. I turned and walked out. My hands were shaking, but I felt weirdly calm. Melissa called me 17 times that night. I didn't answer. The next morning, I woke up to dozens of messages. Turns out someone had posted a video of my little speech at the party on Twitter, and it had gone viral in the Austin tech community. The comments were split. Some people called me petty and dramatic. Others said I was justified. A few investors were apparently asking Derek some very pointed questions about his company's finances. Around noon, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Is this Jack Morrison? Yes, who's this? My name is Jennifer Huang. I'm one of the other investors in Vertex Solutions. I was at that party last night. Okay. I did some digging after what you said about the unauthorized transfers, and I found some things that concern me. Like what? Like the fact that Melissa listed herself as a certified investment advisor on the investor documents, but when I checked with the state licensing board, she doesn't have that certification. She's an analyst, not a licensed advisor. My stomach dropped. What does that mean? It means she committed fraud, not just against you, against all of us. If she misrepresented her credentials to solicit investments, that's securities fraud. That's federal. I sat down hard on my couch. Are you sure? I'm sure. I've already contacted 3 other investors. We're filing a complaint with the SEC. I wanted to give you a heads up because your case is probably the most clear-cut. You have documentation of unauthorized withdrawals and misrepresentation. What happens now? Now? Now this gets very ugly for Melissa, and possibly for Derek, depending on how much he knew. We talked for another 20 minutes. She gave me the contact information for the SEC investigator who would be handling the case. Said I should expect a call within the week. After we hung up, I just sat there. Part of me felt vindicated. She'd screwed over other people, not just me, but another part felt sick. This was about to become a whole legal nightmare. Melissa texted me that afternoon. "We need to talk. Please." I didn't respond. She showed up at my apartment that evening. I almost didn't answer the door, but I figured I might as well hear what she had to say. She looked terrible. Eyes red, hair pulled back messily, wearing sweatpants and a hoodie. "Jack, please. I'm begging you. Don't talk to the SEC. Little late for that." "They called you?" "Not yet, but they will." She started crying. "This is going to destroy my career. I'll lose everything." "You should have thought about that before you stole from me, before you lied to other investors." "I didn't lie. I exaggerated some qualifications. Everyone does that." "Not about investment credentials, Melissa. That's illegal." "I was trying to help Derek get his company off the ground. I believed in him. I still do." "And where is Derek now? Is he here supporting you?" She didn't answer. "That's what I thought." "Jack, please. I'll get you the rest of your money, all of it. I'll figure it out somehow, just please don't cooperate with the investigation. I can't do that." "Why not?" "What do you get out of ruining my life?" I looked at her, this woman I'd planned to marry who I'd trusted completely, and I didn't feel anger anymore, just exhaustion. "I'm not ruining your life, Melissa. You did that yourself." She left crying. I closed the door and locked it. Final update. It's been 4 months since the launch party. Here's where everything stands. The SEC investigation is ongoing. I gave my statement, handed over all documentation, and my lawyer says I'll likely be called as a witness if it goes to trial. Melissa's been charged with securities fraud and unauthorized use of investor funds. She's facing potential jail time and definitely lost her job. Derek tried to distance himself from the whole thing, claiming he had no idea about Melissa's credentials or where the money came from. The SEC isn't buying it entirely, but so far he's being treated as a victim rather than an accomplice. Vertex Solutions shut down last month. Couldn't survive the scandal. I got served with paperwork for a settlement offer from Melissa's lawyer. They're offering to return the remaining $23,000 plus an additional $15,000 for emotional distress if I agree to give a more favorable statement to the court about her character. My lawyer advised me to take it, but I declined. Some things aren't about money. As for Melissa and Derek, they're not together. Apparently, Derek blamed her for destroying his company and cut off all contact. She moved back to her parents' place in Colorado. I heard through mutual friends that she's working retail while she waits for the trial. The wedding venue refunded half our deposit after I explained the situation. Small victory. I started dating again last month. Nothing serious yet, but I'm taking it slow. Did a full financial audit of my life, changed all my passwords, revoked any shared access to accounts. My new financial advisor thinks I'm paranoid, but she also says my caution is refreshingly rational. I don't regret the scene at the launch party. I don't regret cooperating with the investigation. The way I see it, Melissa made her choices, and now she's living with the consequences. I'm just trying to move forward. Someone asked me the other day if I missed her. Honestly, I miss who I thought she was. But that person never really existed. Edit 1. Yes, I reported this to the police initially. They said it was a civil matter since I'd given her power of attorney. The SEC charges came later after other investors got involved. Edit 2. For everyone asking about the remaining money, the settlement offer is still on the table, but accepting it would mean potentially helping her get a lighter sentence. I'm still deciding. Edit 3. To answer the most common question, no, I don't think I'll ever give someone power of attorney again. Lesson learned the hard way.